I'm Dale. Worked at Formosa for 20 years.
20 years.
That was my hellhole for that 20 years. And I would like to say one thing. Formosa is a type of company that does not care about its employees, does not care about its environment, who they hurt, how they hurt them, or any of the above, as long as they can make the money. The rule is you run your equipment balls to the wall. You make as much money as you possibly can at whatever expense.
And their policy was dilution is the solution to pollution.
And that is what I was always instructed as a wastewater technician. That dilution was the solution to pollution. So we, in the startup phase of the Point Comfort plant, I seen things that would make your hair curl. I've seen chemicals come out of the top of a reactor, out of a 6-inch vent, shoot probably 50 feet straight up in the air, a solid stream of caustic, EDC, and copper, hit the ditch and start boiling. And this was during a startup phase. One of the incinerators where we burned the waste gas, they would have holes in the sides of them because a fire brick would fall out, and the fires that we were burning these waste gas at were at temperatures of 2,300 degrees, and when this fire brick would fall out, that metal would deteriorate right there. And instead of shutting that unit down like it was supposed to have been shut down, they would not shut it down, and they would go ahead and run it. Well, at that same night that I seen that stuff fly out of that reactor, that was the night they hit me with so much waste gas that I had all 3 incinerators burning at maximum capacity. I was hitting 2,500 degrees. Blowers were maxed out. I mean, everything was running as hard as it could. The one unit that had the hole in the side of it had pieces of melted steel starting to spew out of it, or what it looked like melted steel. I was hollering on the intercom that I was having a burn down, that it was in the process of a meltdown. And it went on probably for about 20 minutes. I kept throttling back on the valve, cutting back the valve, cutting back the valve, trying to stop the gas from getting there. It did no good. The valves are ate up. There is no control. The valves are history. They're deteriorated. You know, and instead of being replaced and putting good valves in, they give you this Mickey Mouse shit that you're supposed to run with. And that's exactly what you had to do, was run with that. Matter of fact, and I'll give you a perfect example, another thing that would put chills up and down your spine is that we would walk out between the 2 incinerators, have 10-inch piping on both sides of us, and we would just be leaking liquid because the vapors of the waste gas would condensate. Okay? Now, as these vapors condensate, it would eat up the carbon steel pipe. Basically, the only thing that held that pipe together was paint. Because we could walk up to that pipe and poke it with our finger, and there'd be a hole there. It got to the point where operators, and not just I alone, several operators, we took the foam roll-up earplugs, and we would roll it up and stick it inside that hole, and then that earplug would expand, and that would stop the waste gas from spewing out on us. All right, the flame arresters would get clogged up. When these flame arresters clogged up, you put industrial water on top of them. The water runs to the bottom. You have a drain valve. You kicked it open. That water and those chemicals, that had just ate up the flame arrestor, which there wasn't one anymore, or it was gone. There wasn't much there no more because of the chemical reactions. And when you kick this valve open to drain this concoction after you put the water to it, it would just run down the concrete into the storm basin, and the concrete would just have holes, a trail, ate all the way down it. Now you learned as an operator, you jumped over it very carefully. If you stepped in it, which I had done it many times, bottom of your boots felt like they was on fire. I don't care if you got a water hose and you hosed your boots, your Red Wing boots down or not, your feet were on fire. That's what you'd feel on the bottom of your feet. And all this time, this solution of chemicals that you mixed with water. Now keep in mind, this is a waste gas burner. So that means every chemical in the whole plant that gives off a vapor has been sent to this unit. So you have a mixture of EDC, VCM, vinyl chloride, pi gas, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Every chemical that they have in the plant, it's got to be burnt because it's got to be vented somewhere. So this is where it's vented. So now you got all these chemicals mixed together, and now you added a little bit of water to it with that flame arrestor, and when it comes out, you didn't know what it was. So that's why it was such. We didn't know what it was. Nobody ever sampled it. Nobody did nothing.
This is great. I mean, you got 2 or 3 stories in there that you just gave examples of stuff we're trying to look for. Could you just make a statement on the health and safety conditions or the culture of safety at Formosa Plastics?
The culture between Formosa Plastics and the Americans, I believe, is that they see life expendable. You can.
Okay, let's start that over again. Okay.
That you are expendable.
Okay, from the very beginning, what you decided about.
Okay, Formosa versus the American way is, I see that Formosa sees it that life is expendable, and that as soon as your history or they fire you or you're hurt, they will have somebody come in, take your place, boom, it's over. That's just the way it works. You're nothing. You're nothing out there. You just do the dirty work, play the game, earn your money, go home. Don't keep your mouth shut, do what you're told. Don't worry about, hey, you just do what the hell we tell you to do. And that's the way it works. You don't do what you're told, then you get shit jobs. You will get shit on every which way you turn.
Okay, there's another question. Could you tell me a little bit about retaliation? Any retaliation the company might bring to bear on people that point things out that are safety hazards?
Yes, I was a whistleblower. They retaliated against me. I got dirty jobs. I made good money and I was working with laborers when I was supposed to be an operator. They made me work with laborers that didn't even speak English. I'd be picking up trash in the ditch when I'm supposed to be running a unit, pushing buttons, reading gauges. Instead, I'm picking up trash, sweeping concrete, breaking manways. You ever tried to put a manway on by yourself that's almost half the size of your body and you're the only one doing it because they wouldn't give you nobody to help you? That's what they did to me. That was how they retaliated against you when you retaliated against them. And I was told, and I quote, I was told, the best operator A good operator always knows when to keep his mouth shut. That's what I was told.